I've noticed that you like interesting things to hit, like not just like the plain old, right?
Yeah, I mean, I try. There's I don't know. I like to try and do things that not everybody does, 'cause it's fun.
Right. Hey everybody, morning coffee here with Jonathan Seipel. Been out skateboarding. We hit some spots that hopefully nobody has ever hit before. And then we also went to Brookrun. There was a great session going on there. Got some tricks, got some good filming going on. But this part, I just want to, talk to Jonathan and get into how he got into skateboarding and how we even met. Okay, so let's start first.
Okay.
How old are you? When you first see a skateboard, you say, I love this thing.
The first time I saw a skateboard and said I loved it, I was probably about like 13, 14.
Okay.
And I'm going on 36 in September. So it's been a nice long...
It's been a little 20 years?
Yeah, it's been a nice little stint there.
Okay. Almost 21 or 20-something years.
Yeah. Going on, I believe, 22.
Yeah. And so, wow. And did you ever put it down, or do you just kind of like...
For a few years, there was some times where I couldn't really skate as much as I wanted to.
Okay.
I was dealing with a skate-related injury, and I just had my first son. So I was kind of really focusing mainly on just trying to build my family and take care of, my kid and, his mother at the time. That was my main focus. So I just kind of put skating on the back burner. I would go out front, push around, pop a couple of tricks every once in a while, but...
Where are you living at this point? Are you in Atlanta?
I'm in Roswell.
You're in Roswell. So you're starting in Roswell is where you're skating?
I skate in Roswell, but...
No, I mean back then.
Oh, back then, no, I was in Duluth.
Okay, so you're Duluth.
Like, when
Was it like spot skating? I think the mall maybe had was it the Discover Mills had the...
Well, at the time, the only skate park, to my knowledge, that was open was called Rampage. But I never went because I was like this 13, 14-year-old grom. Like, I didn't feel confident going to a skate park yet. My ollies were like maybe like an inch at the time. So, I didn't really go to skate parks. For me, it was just like a lot of flat ground.
Okay.
My best friend's cul-de-sac.
Okay. And so you had a friend and maybe some videos that kind of like helped you progress and learn, or did you have like a crew that you guys just kind of fed off each other?
Honestly, it was just kind of, at the time we were really big into Jackass.
So you're watching Steve-O. You're like,
yeah.
You're like,
So,
okay.
Whatever little like skate clips they would show. I would also go to this one skate park called Pickneyville. Yeah. And it's probably, if you ask anybody that's skated it, it's the worst skate park in Georgia.
I've been there.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what I said. We'll talk about Pickneyville. No diss to any skate park, because anything that's out there is like, okay, thank you. But this park is a park that's built for skateboarding, but it's almost like something that wasn't built for skateboarding, if you can say it like that.
Like, the people who built it didn't know the first thing about skateboarding or smoothing out concrete or coping.
Right. Yes. And so it's wavy. The concrete's wavy. It's hard to push. But
it's got coping in 3 places.
But it's affectionately. I've gotten some tricks there, so I don't know. Hey,
for me, I love the place. I mean, it's one of my favorite places to go to. And I would go there a lot growing up because it was down the road from me, and I would just see the locals there. Okay. Brian Strickland, he would go down there quite often. I mean, he was sick. I mean, he's actually the reason why I started throwing nollie big spins in the first place. I would watch him just casually throw nollie big spins out of the bowl, and I'm just like, dude, they were so clean and smooth. Like, it was one of those tricks that's like I had to learn. And so for me, that's just kind of how I, learned about new tricks was, just watching the older dudes that were better at Pickneyville.
Okay.
And I would just watch them, or I would just go do flat land and try and work on getting kickflips.
Yeah, because you're still kind of before the like instructional on YouTube days, because it's like God, I wish I had that.
You would have to watch like a skate video on slow motion. You'd have to like study it and be like, okay, how did they move
Pause,
their foot? Yeah,
pause,
exactly.
pause.
You'd have to like
oh, too
pause.
far. Rewind.
Right, like rewind, rewind, play again, rewind. Yeah, I mean it's like you'd have to sit there and just like study the clip, and that's how I would also learn tricks, was just studying skate videos. And I grew up watching those, and I'm like, dude, like, you know, I would watch Heath Kirchhart throw heavy hammers on just everything, and same thing with John Cardiel, and you know, just get right back up.
Okay.
Or I would watch the Black Label teams and just watch them just throw crazy stuff like Mike V.
Oh, God.
Like, watching him
Yeah.
just like, you know, no comply, boneless 360s, like over a sidewalk and like into the road, or that like,
High frontside air.
you know, like his crazy
Off
like,
the wall.
right, like that no comply into like a board stall into like the car tire and like, you know, like early grab out of it, like, dude, like just crazy things. And I would just watch that as a kid and just being like, that's the style, like that's insane.
And totally insane. Totally
Yeah.
insane style. And so, when did you start noticing, man, I'm getting good? Like, if you've ever felt that way. If you ever felt that way. I know, right?
Oh, the moment I realized that I was getting decent at skateboarding, and when I realized that, hey, maybe there's more than just, you know, popping around. Maybe I'm actually pretty decent. It's when I started landing tricks, and I started hearing a lot of people cheering for that trick.
There you go.
Like when you just land a trick and you just hear like a bunch of people just kind of losing their mind for it.
Yeah.
You're just kind of like, okay, that was a good trick that people liked.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe I am a little bit better than I think I am.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's just kind of that crowd feedback.
Yeah.
Is kind of what started, you know, telling me it's like, okay, maybe I'm better than what I give myself credit for. You know, maybe I should try something a little bit harder. You know,
Yeah.
like let's take it to the next level.
Yeah. And so I'm going to backtrack a little bit. I should say, I think I met Jonathan on a skate ATL, and then we kind of figured out we lived in the same town because he had moved to Roswell at some point in his life.
Yeah.
And then we figured out, so we must skate if we live in the same area, then why not, right? And so there we are. And so, yeah, so we ended up skating, oh God, it's been some weeks, maybe even a month ago. He showed
Yeah, it was, where did we start? Oh yeah, it was the ACS loading dock.
Yes.
The one right over there for Roswell Road.
Yep. And that's the spot that you guys have been seeing in the morning coffee shows where I'm doing the backsides and stuff on the little loading dock. This is the gentleman who showed me where to go.
Dude, that spot's so fun.
Yes.
Like, I mean, it caters to everybody.
I can tell you though, that concrete sometimes can be slick as snot.
Yeah.
It can be
Dude,
pretty slick.
transitional seasons, that place sucks because it's huge. Like, it just traps the humidity down there, and that like polished concrete just condensates.
And you're like,
so bad. Yes.
It's like, all right, land straight.
I mean, if you want to do like a whole power slide session, go for it. It's great for that.
That's the truth. That's the absolute truth.
Using a new skateboard as incentive to do better at school kind of really sucked, but I mean.
Whereas my parents were going, I'm going to take that skateboard away. If you don't do better.
I'm almost like, no. Maybe if I get him a new board, he'll do better at school. But and I'll never forget because it was a zero board with just your like basic Jessup grip. I had Grind King trucks. I had like 55 millimeter big blue and white swirl wheels that were so fucking massive.
Wow.
And then I had like fucking just like Red's bearings.
Nice.
And it was like the best setup. I even like slept with it. I brought it in bed with me that night. Like
Nice.
I was in love. Like ever since then, it
Nice.
was just I was just all about skateboarding, and I just dove into it.
I can't say that I ever slept with my skateboard.
Oh, dude, I
But
was
I'd
so
be lying
grateful.
if I did say
I was
that.
so grateful for like a brand new
Right.
just like brand new complete setup with like just name brand everything.
Yes.
Like something that didn't come from like Walmart that was like $20.
Yes, because like my first boards, they were completes from like Walmart wasn't so much, but like Kmart, and they were like Veriflex back in the like early '80s. But then like my other boards were like taking parts from there, and
Right,
and
so cannibalize and make your own.
And
Yeah.
so it took a while. I think it was a Hosoi before I got tracker, bullet wheels.
Okay, yeah, you started actually getting a real
the
setup.
whole thing was a
Yeah.
a good setup. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it was like.
See, for me, like I said, I got my first real setup, and I was in love. Like at that moment in time, that's when like the love of skateboarding has like smacked me in the face as hard as it could, and it's like, hey, you love me now,
Nice.
and I'm just like, okay, I do.
Nice.
Like the worst
Nice.
abusive relationship. I'm in love.
So, oh God. So what year is that? Were you able ever to like in my day, late '90s? I'd gone to college downtown, and we had Bell South, Bell Banks. We had North Avenue MARTA. We had Peachtree MARTA. We had.
Yes, I do remember all those spots.
Okay.
So it was maybe junior year in high school is when I actually started getting more comfortable with my street skating to actually go downtown Atlanta and find spots.
There we go.
So yeah, I do remember skating the old Bell South building when it still had the wall rides on the stairs, the giant thick handrails.
They're out now. It's grass park now.
Yeah, it's horrible now. They destroyed it all. But at the time, I just wasn't good enough to really hit any of that, though. Because, I mean, at the time, that was when Jamie Thomas was, coming around and, like, just throwing 50-50s down and, like, there was nothing, and just, you know.
I was there for those. Yes, for sure, yes.
Like, he was around, but, like, but still, it's just like, I couldn't hit them at the time. But I would still go to it and maybe try and do wall rides on the planter and on the sidewalk. Like, try and, like, come up and carve it, but I just wasn't happening then.
Yeah. And so, because I don't see when I go downtown much. I mean, I know it's definitely out there because I see clips from Atlanta all the time. But it seems as if they're more like at the spots and not so as much in the streets like we were. Like, I can remember having like, it seemed like 50 kids getting chased out of downtown, heading back towards Midtown, trying to, because that was like the line. If you can get back over North Avenue,
Yeah,
they don't
you're
bother
safe.
you.
Yeah, you're good.
You're not bothering you.
Midtown, they don't really care.
They don't care. And that's where home was at the time. But how long were you before you? I know you got a few sponsors here. We can talk about this in there in a minute. But how long before you started? Were you reaching out, or were people coming to you about?
Well, the first sponsor with Jealousy, Jealousy label, I actually I didn't necessarily reach out to them initially for the sponsorship. I actually reached out to them just to tell them that I really liked their hat. Because they had a hat that was literally like blue hat, red bill, with the logo in white in the middle, like solid A-Town hat
You
style.
got dope gear.
Well, I was just kind of like, that hat is amazing. When I get paid, I'm going to pick that hat up.
Yeah.
It's like I'm a huge fan of that style. It's like that's a great way to represent Atlanta in my skate videos.
Right.
So just to kind of like help bolster Atlanta, and that's like, hey, it's like I'm from Atlanta, Atlanta skate scene, just kind of mix it all together.
Right.
But, and, just kind of like, I love that hat. Ultimately I bought it. And there was one day I made mention about like sending a sponsor me video to a company, just kind of like, fingers crossed, here's hoping. And like the owner was kind of like, hey, if you want, send it our way, let me take a look. I was like, okay, shoot, why not? And I sent it to them, they're like, so yeah, you want to ride for us? And I'm like, yeah, I do. It's like, I like your guys' gear. It's like, I'm down for you guys. Like, you guys want to throw me like a sponsorship? Like, let's do it. I'll be ride or die for you guys.
The feeling's mutual.
Yes, I will glad. It's like you like me, I like you. Please, I will be ride or die for you guys.
Okay, nice. That's awesome. So, what the first boxes look at? You're like, all right, great. Now you're on. Now you get this.
Yeah, like when that first box comes in, you're like, it like sinks in because like you're kind of on cloud nine for a minute. You're like, I can't believe it. It's like I actually have a sponsorship, and for me, it's even more awesome for me to get a sponsor because I didn't think I'd ever be in that situation to have a sponsor.
Right, because it seems like, was it a little bit later in life is what you're saying?
Yeah, because I didn't receive my first sponsorships until maybe about a year or so ago.
Okay, so yeah, good in like season, you're just kind of like, you know what, I'm skating for fun. Let me see what can happen.
Yeah.
And here it is.
Yeah, right? It's like holy shit! Never thought I'd be here. Because when I was 19, I completely blew out my knee at Pickneyville skating.
Okay.
I tore my ACL, LCL, MCL, and I partially tore my cartilage.
They had to carry you off.
Yeah, I mean, I completely blew my knee out, and that's the injury I was kind of referencing, when I said when I kind of tapered off skating for a little bit when I started my family. And I mean, it was very difficult to skate, and, I tried, and there was a couple of times where I tried, and it buckled out on me again. And to where I couldn't really walk right for 6 months.
Man.
And I couldn't really do anything, and, I would say around late 2019, early 2020, I just kind of started working out and exercising. And I kind of started focusing on my knee and strengthening it.
Started coming back.
Yeah, and I kind of slowly started coming back to skating. I would pop some tricks. I had some ramps that I had built and held on to over the years and just would use them. Just kind of focusing on leg stability and things like that, which allow me to get back into skating.
Right. And you were kind of saying earlier when we were at the park, I probably didn't get it on tape, but he was kind of saying that you kind of switched your style from trying to go down bigger things and all those things to like, now I'm going to try interesting and fun, like...
Yeah, because, actually the injury is because I would always try and throw hammers. I would always try and throw hammers. Every trick, every try had to be a hammer. And I think it was mainly because that's just how it was in the early 2000s. It was that mentality. I mean, look at Dustin Dolan. I mean, I watched, like, Dustin Dolan, like, there was no tomorrow. Like, I thought he was sick. Andrew Reynolds. I mean,
Jamie.
Jamie Thomas. I mean, Ali Buwala, the whole flip team, Tom Penny, Arto Sari, Mark Appleyard, like all of those huge dudes, and they're throwing like heavy hammers on like everything. And so for me, like I thought the same thing. Everything I had to do had to be a hammer, and ultimately that was my downfall. And so now I can't skate that way, so I have to be more creative. I have to think more. I know everyone says outside the box, but I mean, for me, it's just like I have to think about interesting combinations that people wouldn't necessarily want to put together.
There you go. Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, there's the box. I'm gonna skate that box. Like, fuck your box. I'm gonna skate it.
I mean, to me, it's appreciative. I love all skateboarding.
Right.
And and like when I see Ron Allen 59, 60 doing his, I think it was a front flip, or no, it was a front shove late flip.
I was watching that like a Temper Pro.
And I was like, 60, if I could do that?
Dude, right? I was like,
yes!
I was like, dude's 59? He does not look 59. Okay. Like, damn, alright, like...
Yeah.
I need to get on his lifestyle. Like, man, like, whew.
Right. There's so many other spots. Because you talked about injury, maybe like, I think, another brand that I appreciate that he has.
Old Bones.
Old Bones Therapy.
Old Bones Therapy. Yeah, I, as a 35-year-old skater going on 36, that's probably one of the better ones to have. I'm always wearing their knee braces and taking their supplements. Like, they were amazing. I actually purchased their stuff first.
Yes.
Rocked their stuff for a good while. I mean, I had like a decent amount of footage with their knee brace on, and just reached out to them. And I just sent them a video, told them, about who I was, just did a little about me message, and I sent them some of my recent footage at the time.
And so, actually, let me hold you right there. I lied. That's where I first saw you, I think. Footage from that. Okay, keep going. I'm going to see him from that first.
But no, and I just sent them a message in like a quick 1 minute clip, and it was about like a week later they got back to me, and they were like, yeah, we love it. Welcome to the team. Let us know your sizes and where to send it to. And I got that message, and I'm like, oh my god,
thank you.
Yes, awesome. Let's keep this going.
That would be such a relief, like, Oh my god! And I know they do like I think they have like ointments and creams.
They
for,
do
like,
all
body
sorts of
rub,
recovery stuff. So
recovery
yeah, as an
rubs.
older dude, yeah, they're amazing. Yes, the pain cream, yes. And they've got these like 360 gel, like hot gel packs that like you can put in the microwave or freeze them.
Yeah.
And like it's just like all around like gel pack, like just full like arm wrap. And it just
Nice.
feels so good. You can just like walk around the house with it on. It's just like so. Oh my god.
Are there? I think you had a couple other sponsors I saw when that you promoted.
Jelly Grip Tape
Jelly
is
Grip
my
Tape.
other sponsor, yes. It's actually, Jelly Grip Tape is co-owned by one individual and the owner of Jealousy Lab.
Okay, so they're almost the same brand. Are they in the same
They're
family?
in the same family,
Okay.
I would kind of say. You know, and it was still kind of, you know, I still had to reach out and be like, hey, you know, I would like to be a part of Jelly. You know, what can I do?
Okay.
You know, it was kind of one of those, you know, just keep skating, you know, just clips. You know, I sent it to him. You know, I reached out to the owner of Jelly or Jealousy Lab and was like, hey, you know, what do I got to do? And he's like, okay, well, he's like, give me a little bit. And a little bit later, he goes, okay, all right, it's done. You're on. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, awesome. All right, cool.
So this is a testament to some of you younger folks that may not have the confidence to do what Jonathan has done, to just send people things and ask, because sometimes it happens if you just ask.
Well, I mean, also in some
Or-
instances, just keep skating and just keep posting. I mean,
There you go.
honestly, as much as I hate to admit it, social media helps a lot in that aspect to actually gain sponsors, because it wasn't really until I started posting my clips more and people started seeing them that they started liking them more and people started following me more, and then it just kind of snowballed from there.
So what would you like to say to the ATL and to Atlanta? The
I mean,
scene,
honestly,
the
for
artists, to everybody around.
everybody in Atlanta throws down so great. I mean, everybody has such a diverse style with everything, and that's one of the things I love about the Atlanta skate scene.
Yeah.
Everybody throws down differently. I mean,
Everybody's similar.
everyone. It's just great to see, because you'll watch someone like a buddy of mine, Mike Mann. You'll see him throw some crazy hammers, like fucking like he'll do like stuff out of blunt slides, and I'm like, what the fuck was that? Like, that was insane. Or it's like you just see somebody else like throw some kind of like crazy fucking big spin to like feeble, and you're just like, what the fuck?
What?
Yeah, you're just
What?
like, what the hell?
What?
Or it's just like, it's insane, and everybody just comes with such a diverse like bag of tricks to the table. It's so hard to like almost, I wouldn't say compete with them, but just stay with that level. Like, it's hard to like just kind of like get with them on that scene, especially.
Oh, I totally get it, because, like, me coming back in some years ago, like, I'm going, you know, I'm just going to roll around, and it's starting to go, you know what? No. The session starts getting amped, and you're
Yeah.
like, you start
Everyone
getting
starts
pumped.
throwing,
You're like, all
yeah.
right, you know, I can do that, too. Let's do this.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? Okay, like, all right, let me start seeing what I can throw right now.
There you
So,
go.
like, all the different types of artists from Atlanta, it's just so diverse.
Right.
It's such a great thing to see. I mean, you have people painting murals everywhere. I mean, these are breathtaking murals.
Yeah.
Like my buddy Moses, he'll paint some murals, and they've had them up at a Brookrun skate park. And they're absolutely gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you'll see them just everywhere, or you'll see someone like
Talk to you, Moses.
right. But I mean, you'll see people like street performers just in, you know, post up on street corner with a violin, just playing some of the most beautiful music, or someone just singing, and it's so bright and vibrant. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, there's so much talent in Atlanta physically with the things that I like, skateboarding and you know, the skate park kind of stuff, action sports, you know, whatever you want to call it.
Action sports, yeah.
But really only two of them, BMX and skateboard. I like quads.
They seem like they're still stuck in the 90s or early 2000s. Quads are cool. I like quads. People on quads are relatively always really chill and laid back. So
Yeah.
I usually, then again, I don't really have any issues with anybody
No, I don't have
when I
any
go
issues with it.
places.
I'm joking, totally joking. But what I was going to say is that we have great artists of all types, painters, musicians, and yeah, and
We got Jeremiah Babb like expertly building those curbs and just dropping them everywhere all around Atlanta.
thank you. I haven't seen any, but I have seen the posts that I need to get out where I'm old. I need to get out.
They're peppering curbs all around Atlanta.
I spend too much time doing this kind of stuff. No, I skate enough. But I want to just thank you for coming out, and it was a great session today. We'll skate some more for sure because we live in the same place.
Like 5 minutes behind each other. Thank you for having me out, man. I mean, it was amazing being out.
Yeah, and well, that's Morning Coffee with the Boy L, and thank you for watching, hopefully, and please tell your friends, like, sign, subscribe, come to my show. I want to hear about your story, your painting, your music, your skateboarding, maybe your BMX, who knows. All right, talk to you later. You know, this may be a first time skated object here.
I hope.
You know?
I hope. And I hope nobody else looks at this and goes, hold it.
Yeah.
I hope I'm the only one that look at that and go, I can skate this.
Yeah, we both kind of go, that's skateable.
I know.
Oh.